In the previous episodes, we've learned a lot about negotiation, starting from the characteristics of negotiation, reservation point, BATNA, and dealing. In this episode, we'll continue to learn about the strategy of distributive negotiation. First, focus on the other party's BATNA and reservation value. Other than establishing your BATNA and reservation value, it's equally important to make an effort to estimate the other party's BATNA and reservation point. This involves trying to understand the zone of possible agreement, ZOPA, which represents the range of potential deals acceptable to both parties. For instance, if you want to buy a land and you are willing to spend $885 million on the seller's land and believe that the seller might be willing to part with it for $845 million, then the zone of possible agreement, ZOPA, ranges from $845 million to $885 million. Negotiators who focus on comprehending the other party's BATNA tend to set higher objectives, and it will create higher value.
What if I bought it for $820 million? I'll pay in cash right now.
It's still too low. How about 890 million?
How about 850? But I will pay in installment over a year. We're close enough, you can trust me.
Isn't a year too long? I trust you, but I also need the money.
What if 850 in 4 months? I'll give you 550 million now and pay 100 million every month after that.
Second, refrain from offering one-sided concessions. After each party presents their initial offer, avoid making an additional sacrifice before your counterpart reciprocates with one of their own. If the other party does not align with the concession you've made, it might be time for you to withdraw from the negotiation and implement your BATNA.
What if I bought it for 820 million? I'll take it now in cash.
It's still too low. How about 890 million?
What if 850 in 4 months? I'll give you the 550 million now and I'll pay with 100 every next month consecutively.
Third, be comfortable with silence. Negotiators often tend to make unwarranted concessions or retract their offers when their counterpart appears to be taking too long to respond. However, remember that the silence from your counterpart may be strategic, designed to make you uncomfortable and concede.
It's still too low. How about 890 million?
Or should I pay 400 million now and pay 200 within the next month consecutively?
It's okay to pause for a second and just be comfortable with silence.
Fourth, label your concessions. As humans, we have a tendency to reciprocate the generosity we receive from others. At the same time, to avoid feelings of obligation, negotiators may underestimate each other's sacrifices. It is crucial in distributive bargaining to draw attention to your sacrifices by explaining how valuable they are to you.
What if 850 in 4 months? I'll give you the 550 million now and I'll pay 100 every month consecutively, which is not easy for me because currently I need to take care of my mother who has been seriously ill and 2 children who will be going to college this year.
Lastly, offer concessions with conditions. Explain that you will only make concessions if the other party meets your expectations.
I'll take it now in cash if you're willing to lower the price.
And now we'll unravel the strategies that you can implement when you're in an integrative negotiation situation. First, delve deeper into the interests of the opposing party. The best way to uncover the hidden interests of your counterpart is by asking and actively listening. You should ask numerous questions to gain a clear understanding of someone's interests. Second, play the game of what if. Engaging in the process of value creation often involves exploring what if scenarios. To assess if a transaction truly generates value, consider examining it from the perspective of the opposite party. Third, invite other additional party. Adding an extra party can help close the divide between 2 parties.
Given the importance of aligning on compensations, what if we involve our finance manager in this discussion? They have a comprehensive overview of our budget constraints and might offer valuable insights on how we can structure a competitive compensations package that satisfies both of a company's financial goals and recognize the exceptional skills that you bring to the table. How does that sound to you?
From this episode, we can conclude that there are some strategies that we can execute in both distributive and integrative. In the process of distributive strategy, what we can do is focus on the other party's BATNA and reservation value so that we can capture more value in the negotiation. Next is we can refrain from offering one-sided concessions so that we can avoid disadvantage. We should be comfortable with silence too when the other party makes unwarranted concessions. Next, we must explain to the other party how valuable our concessions are. Lastly, we should offer conditional concessions so it can avoid us from disadvantage. Meanwhile, in the process of integrative strategy, we should comprehend the other party's interest by asking numerous questions. Next, we can ask what-if questions to understand the other party's point of view. Lastly, if needed, we can call another party to help close the divide between two parties. By implementing these tactics and strategies, negotiators can navigate the negotiation process more effectively and achieve mutually beneficial outcomes.
If you're willing to pay me,
Cultivation.
The rice. Sorry.
Oh, yes, sir. Both. Sorry banget.